Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, August the 30th, 2020 or 2020. It is 4 o'clock on the West Coast, and that means it is time for Pearl Manhattan. Express yourself healing through art. This week we're going to be working on, let me get my light turned around here so we can see without too much glare. There we go. That gives us a little more light. Today we are going to continue working on our holiday planner that we started last week. And if you're watching the replay, I do appreciate you watching the replay. Leave me a comment down below that says Replay Squad. I know Sunday evening, this is dinner time on the East Coast, so a lot of people don't have the opportunity to make it to the live stream. I also know that thanks to Dean at the Live Place, who hosts over 110, I think it's up to 120 now, 120 live streams on YouTube. It's kind of like your TV guide for YouTube. And there are so many wonderful live streamers going on in so many different topics. And so if you're catching one of those shows live and you're coming back to catch the replay of this, I do appreciate it. This is timeless stuff. So if you're catching the replay, good for you. Thank you for that. Ooh, our paper cracked. I'll have to show you how to fix it if your paper cracks. But as I said, we're going to continue working on the holiday planner. The paper pack that I'm using is a paper pack I got from Michaels. And I just looked on the Michaels weekly sales ad, and they've got these paper packs on sale, buy one, get two free. And they've got so many different paper packs, it's not funny. So if you are in need of paper, please go check out Michaels and get yourself some paper. What we have here is, I've got a little crack and I will fix that later. We're going to move on though, and I'm going to show you what we've done. Last week we made this binder. It's a trifold. It's just a binder, just the shell. This week we are going to make the little file folders to put inside it and put those inside. And if we have time, we will get started on the matching pen, and then the pocket where the pens and pencils and highlighters, whatever you want to put, go into. And then we will put in our Post-it notes and this big block notepad. Okay, right now let's get to those file folders. And this is what we're making. We made one last week, and we're going to punch holes in it and the other ones that we make, and then we're going to use these rings and affix them. These are just big jump rings. I wear a size, on this finger I wear about a size 9 or 10, so that's how big these are. They're about, let me find something to compare it to. Okay, here's one of these tiny Post-it notes. So you see the size of this. I'll put it on the Post-it note so the glare is getting to it. But there we go. That's easier to show you. That's about the size of it. And they're split rings, so they've got a little split in them, and we're going to bend them and use them to put the binders into our folder. But first, anyway, I was talking about Dean at the Live Place. Check out www.liveplace.com. I have 2 shows listed on there. This show, which is every Sunday at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. And then I have a music show on Wednesdays at 12 noon on the East Coast. That's your lunch hour. You can turn it on and hear, "Hi, Michelle the Quilter." Well, let me go back and show you. This is, you watched the replay, so you saw we made this. But then I have a music show on the Live Place, 9 a.m. West Coast on Wednesdays. So today like I said, we are making these little folders, these little file folders. I use an entire 12 by 12 sheet, and let me pick out what I'm going to use for my folders. I don't know, that's a little busy. I was saying, Michelle, these paper packs are on sale at Michael's. Buy one, get two free if you are a scrapbook paper collector like I am. Not a hoarder. We are collectors. We are not hoarders. And obviously this is a really cute piece of paper, but this will not work for the file folder because I'm going to be folding it up about here, and we chop off her legs, or we'd have her upside down, and I don't want to do that. So I'm picking out some pretty paper. I've got one in that floral, so I don't, and here's a smaller version of that floral. I don't want to do two in the floral, and I don't want to do anything with words, but you know, this would work. This would be pretty, because even though it would be folded, it would still, you'd still know what it was, you know. So we will use this one and this one, I think, and maybe one more. We can find something else in here that looks kind of cute and won't be too warped if we fold it. And like this one, we can't use this one for that. What I do with these is I get the 12 by 12 canvas boards, art boards, the 12 by 12 ones, and I will glue this onto it, and then I glue a ribbon, hot glue a ribbon on the back, and it comes out. Let me show you, because I have one. This is another 12 by 12 piece of paper I got in a different pack, and this is the artist board, and I put a plain 12 by 12 paper on the back, and I also glued some ribbon, and then I can hang it on my wall, and I make wall hangings out of those. Anyway, back to our folders. All right. And then next week we will make the expanding filing folder that goes on the other side, depending on how much we get through today. I've got these two, and I've got that one, but I can't fold that one up. So we may use, let's use the stripey one too. And those will be our little file folders, or our little pocket folders, I guess we'll call them. Oh, my hands are not working today, folks, so bear with me. I'm going to be a little clumsy, but that's all right, because it's just me here. So, and I'm going to need to use this one as a pattern so I can remember what I did last time. I'm going to get my scoreboard out. And this is my one from last week, and I want to see, okay, I did 4 inches, so I scored it 4 inches and 6 inches. So I put my paper, and I think I want this folder to go this way. I want the stripes up and down. I don't like sideways stripes. I like vertical, not horizontal. So I score it for my middle score, my middle fold. Ow. This is not my usual scoring tool, so bear with me. I'm going to score it at 6 inches on this side, and then I'm going to flip it over and score it the other way, and that keeps it from cracking. It just stretches the paper a little bit more. Ow, I wish I knew where my other scoring, here. Let's use this. There we go. That's a little more comfortable. It's not poking me in the hand now. So that's the 6 inch. So that's going to be the this way. And then we're going to do it at 4 inches. And it doesn't matter which end we do this on because it's just stripes. So 4 inches there. And then 4 inches here. And now we're going to fold it up gently, and we're going to make our folds. But then I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to use my paper cutter. Unless you are comfortable with a guillotine cutter, don't try this at home. You can injure yourself with a guillotine cutter if you don't practice with it and get comfortable. So I find where my fold is at the 4-inch mark, and I'm just going to slide this in until that little crease, and I'm holding the blade up with my hand. Don't ever leave the blade unattended. And I'm just going to chop off a little bit. So what I've done, you see I've made this little V here where my folds are, so that when I fold it up, see, there's the V. Okay, and then I will take my double-sided tape. Oh, okay. Well, this is my own pattern. I have put it together out of my head from making all sorts of things. And your mileage may vary. So, and I am by no stretch a professional paper crafter. I'm just a crafter who likes to do things. And I need a holiday planner to hold my Christmas cards and my lists and stuff like that. My recipes. And I've just put one piece of tape on this side. I'll show you over here. I've got my double stick tape just down the outside on one side, and I fold it up and match it. And then you close it, and there's your folder. And we're going to do this 2 more times, so I'll have 4 folders in all. And then 3 more times, we'll have 5 folders. No, 4 more times. I don't need that one. That's right. We'll do it 2 more times, and then we'll have 4 folders. So we'll put that one over there for now, and then we'll do this again. Let's work on this one. No, we're not cutting it yet. Oh, have you had a good day, Michelle? It's been a nice day for you? It's been a good day here. I do a music stream in the mornings over on Twitch. I had a great stream today. Had a lot of fun. There's my 6-inch score. And then, since this one's got decorations at the top, I want to make sure that my 4-inch score is at the bottom. So 4 inches there. And then exactly over, and 4 inches there. Okay. Then we'll put that down, and we'll make our folds. And just make them gently. We're not going to burnish them because we don't need a razor sharp edge on here. And then we get our cutter back, slide it up. Oh, and I'll show you something else. We're going to have to fix this one. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and fix it right now. My 6-inch score, I don't know if you can see, but I've got about a 1/16 of an inch that it's not level. It's not even. And my fold got a little wonky. So what I'll do is take the crease side and square up my top and bottom. Because this project's for me. If I was making this to sell, I would redo the folder. But since it's for me, I mean, nobody is perfect, and I'm not going to be particular. You know, it's about being creative. It's not about being perfect. So we're just gonna go, whoops. See, it's not. Let's line that up right. There we go. Now we don't have that overhang. Now I can go back, find my 4-inch score mark, put it up against this edge, and just take a little V out. There's my little V, and fold it up. And then take my little scraps over there. Scraps go over there. And there we go. And there we go. And with my Dollar Tree double-sided tape, which I ordered by the case from Dollar Tree, it is much more inexpensive from the Dollar Tree. And it's good tape. And then we're going to fold that up and make sure that it lines up on the outside there. Give it another little push. Fold it up. Stick it down. Give it another little push. Close it. And there we go. And that's 3. We have one more we're going to make. And this one kind of makes my eyes go cross, so I'm going to stick it in between those. But anyway, let's get it all the way across. And my scoreboard is a little off, so I'm used to things not being exactly measured right. Now this one, since it's an all over print, it doesn't matter which side we do the 4 on. There's that side, and then we'll come back and do it on this side. Change it out. Here we go. Get our cutter back. And this paper is kind of heavy. It's heavy paper. It's not the light thin paper. It's like a light cardstock almost, I want to say. So let's fold it in half and see. Yep, see, it's a little uneven because of that edge where it was in the book. And always make sure your paper is 12 by 12 before you start. But you don't have to make these with 12 by 12 paper. If you make a smaller binder, make smaller folders. I turned that over because I'm squaring it up on the fold first, so that even if it's, because it's uneven on these edges, on this outside edge here. There we go. Whoops. Okay, take your call. Yes, family's important, dear. You can always catch the replay. I'll be here. That's what I like about YouTube, is there's always a replay. Always a replay. Because I know I've got a replay squad. I know people are watching the replays, and that's fine. It's just, honestly, it's easier to get a video up if I do it live than if I try to record it and then edit it and everything else. It's easier just to sit here and do it live. For me. And that's why I go live. Because trying to film and then edit, I get caught up in my perfectionism. And then I second guess, second think, and then the lighting wasn't good enough, and then this wasn't good, and this and that. And so that's why I go live. It's just, it's easier for me to get my videos up there if I'm live. And we will fold this over and line it up there. And then we fold this one and line it up there. And then fold it in half. And this one kind of folded a little wonky, so I am going to burnish that down with a straight edge just to get my folder going. Alrighty. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have our 4 folders right here. Okay, now comes the fun part. Not a sponsor, but I recommend you go get one of these, whether it's the one by We Are Memory Keepers, or you get it from whoever makes it. It is a crocodile, is what it's sometimes called. It has a hole punch. This one is 1/8 of an inch. This is 3/16 of an inch, but it also has a snap and rivet setter. Yeah, go ahead, talk to your daughter. My daughter messages me through internet, so, but I understand. Yes. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep on working here on the, let's do the 3/16, because that's a little bigger. And I'm going to go about an inch in and about a 1/4 of an inch over. Can you see where I am here? There we go. And I'm going to punch a hole, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, on the top and the bottom. I'm going to punch a hole, and I'm going to do that on all 4 folders, and I'm doing it on the fold side, over here on the fold side. Make sure I've got, 3/16. And there we go. And there we go. I'm going to do that on all 4. And there we go. And then number 4. All right, now here comes the fun part. The folding file, the accordion file, is going to go on this side, and here's my spine right here, and I want it to be 1 inch wide. So the file folders are going to go on this side over here where my papers meet, to this side. So in the middle of, I'm going to say about 1/2 inch in and about 1 inch. Let me see how this measures to this, because actually I want to make a mark. Oh, yeah, 1 inch in will work. We're going to go and do the same thing about 1/2 inch in on the 3/16 side with this. So you see where it folds, and I'm just about 1/2 inch in. I'm in the middle of that. And I'm going to put a hole, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side straight down from that. If it doesn't make sense why I'm doing this, just hang on. You'll see where we're going with this. Okay, now there's my holes. There's 2 holes. I got one here and one here. And if you notice, it's about midway of this half of my spine. See where they are? Not really, but it's okay. And then I've got my 2 jump rings, And these are very light jump rings, so I can bend them with my fingers like that. Oh wait, yeah, that's what I needed. That's right, I need a second hole too. I need 2 holes for my jump rings. So we're gonna put this one kind of right next to that one. There we go, right there. Because we need 2 holes. My bad. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial. This is just me sharing how I make things. And you know what? Those aren't even, but it doesn't matter because you're not really going to see them anyway. So I opened up my jump ring. I just twisted it a little bit. And I'm going to feed it through those 2 holes like that. And I'm going to do that with the other one. Exactly the same. So I have my jump ring. Here's the little split. I'm just going to unbend it. And you can get these at Joann's. You can get them at Michael's. You can get them at whatever, Ben Franklin, whatever craft store you go to. They're like 1-inch split jump rings. Be careful that you're not getting the split key rings kind of things. You need something that just has one little split. And I don't know why I closed that yet. Now, here we are with our folders. Like this. And I'm going to take, because we're not going to be taking these in and out, so I'm not going to worry about putting some sort of opening closing ring on here. Once they're here, they're going to be here for good. So, oh, okay. That's all right. We're going to make this work. I should have made my holes a little farther apart on these, but it's all right. All right. And just feeding these onto these rings like this. And then, whoops, did I put those on upside down? No, I put them on right. No, I've got it upside down. That's why it's looking funny. It's upside down to you, but it's right side up to me. So, oh, technology. All right, now that I've got my 4 folders in there, I'm just gonna close up my rings like that. And there we have our little file folders are in there. And they're on our rings. And we can go through and open them individually. And once we get the big file folder in here, they will work a little easier. Now that we're done with poking holes, I'm going to turn it over. Like this. And I'm going to put that split on the outside. Okay. And then I have a piece here that is just about, it's a little too wide, but I'll make it fit. I'm going to cut a piece from the inside. This is going to give it some interest. Cut a piece from the inside, and that spine, I believe I made it 2 inches wide, so I'm going to trim this piece down to exactly 2 inches wide, like that, and it is just the right length. And I'm going to take my double-sided tape, and to start with, run one line over the splits in those rings, just like that, and tear it. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape the stuffings out of this side. You don't have to, you can glue it, you can tape it, whatever you're comfortable with. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial, this is just me sharing how I do things. It's me expressing myself. And if you find something of interest and you want to make it, you don't have to credit me. You don't have to, if you decide to do a tutorial, you find a better way to do it, and you want to do a tutorial based on something that I did, please feel free. And don't worry about crediting me or anything like that. I'm not going to come after anybody because I don't own this idea. I'm not going to patent it. If I inspire creativity, then I've done my job. And that's the way it goes, you know? And then let's pull the backing off of this one. And we are very carefully going to make sure my trees are going the right direction. And roll it up a little bit. Get it lined up on the bottom and run it right along the crease in the spine. Oops, it's a little short, but you know what? I'll just make it short on both ends by the same amount. It adds character. And there we go. There we go, and there we go. I've still got this little split right here, but I will fix that little split in the paper. But there we go, and we have put our little folders into our notebook. And by running that little strip of tape, what we've done is push the rings so the rings are all on the inside, and we don't have much of a bump out here on the outside. All right, so there we go. There's our little folders. All right, the next thing I was gonna do, and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I do my pens. Well, I'll save the pen for last. Let's go ahead. This looks like it would be a good candidate for that, I think. No. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do the pen case, and then we'll... There is a little math involved here, but not a lot. And let me get a little piece of paper here. Here's a piece of paper. And I'll write out the math on this. So each pocket on this is going to be 1/2 of an inch by 1/2 and an inch by 1/2. It's going to be 1/2 an inch squared. So 1/2 inch across the front. So I want 1, 2, I want 4 pockets. So I'm drawing this out so you can see how I think about it. These are my 4 pockets. In between each pocket is going to be a 1/2 inch wall, but I don't want to cut and put things back together. So I'm going to put an extra 1 inch in between each 1/2 inch thing. And this is going to be 1 inch, and this is going to be 1 inch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, 6, 7 inches. So I'll need 7 inches across. And since my cardstock is 8 inches, let me go ahead and cut that 7 inches here. And then for the height of it, here's my pen that I'm going to put in it. And we're going to do two parts to this pen caddy. It's going to have the pocket for the pen, and then it's going to have a strap for the pen. I want it to be, let's say, 3 inches deep. So we need to come down 3 inches, but we also need a 1/2 inch for the bottom. And then let's give it 1 inch to fold up on the back. Okay? So it's going to be 4.5 inches. So we want it 7 inches that way and 4 inches this way. If I'm going too fast, you can always rewind and rewatch what I did. Okay, now it might start to make more sense. I hope. 7-inch side. We're going to score every 1/2 inch on the 7-inch side. All the way across on the 7-inch side. Some of these down at the bottom we won't use, but just to start with, to make sure we get all our 1/2 inches scored. All the way across, we have scored a 1/2 inch all the way across. And then we said we wanted to make it 3 inches tall. Oh, wow. Yeah. I should have added an extra 1/2 inch on that. That's all right. So I scored it at 3 inches and 3.5 inches on the bottom. I may have messed this up. I'm not sure. Yeah. All right. Then we need to release some of the pieces. And we're going to cut that. The last 2 lines on each side. Okay. Just like that. And now we've released that. In fact, forget what I said. Right now, yeah, forget what I said. We're just going to cut this one at 3 inches. The live video. I'm going to cut this one at 3 inches. We're going to add a piece that's going to put our bottom to it. Anyway, to recap, now that I've decided what I'm doing, I have a 7-inch by 3-inch piece of paper that I have scored every 1/2 inch all the way across. Now, I'm going to, this one is going to be against the back. This one is a side. This is a front. So you see I've made sort of a little square here. And then we're going to fold back up because this is a side. And then we're going to do that again over 3 and then back up. And I'd rather just show you than try to explain this because words are hard, you know? And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of folding. When I put the tape down, it'll make more sense. Just hang with me. We're getting there. Did it do right? I hope so. Nope, I missed a one. I think I missed one. Back there, and then there, and then, yep, I missed one. See, I was talking and not paying attention. There we go. All right, so this is how it goes. Now I'm going to make little marks so I know where to put the tape. Okay? So I got my pencil here. This is going to be the back, so I can write on it. Okay, this is a side, this is a front, this is a side. Tape goes on the sides. This is a side, this is a front, this is a side and a side. This is a front, this is a side and a side. This is a front, and this is a side on the outside, and this is the back. Well, let me show you how I've written that so you can see. Can you see how I've written? We have a back, a side, a front, a side and a side, a front, a side and a side, a front, a side and a side, a front, a side, and a back. I'm going to put my double-sided tape on one side of each of the sides in the middle. So there's a tape on that side. I'm going to skip this side and this front and put the tape on the next side. I'm going to skip this side and the front and put the tape on this side. And I'm going to skip this side and this front, this side. I'll put one on the back, but I'm not going to peel the back ones yet. Okay? Not yet, because you'll see what we're going to do about that. All right, now I'm going to peel the backing off of the sides. Side, side, and side. And then I'm going to bring those two sides together on each, wherever there's two sides and a piece of tape, I'm going to bring those two sides together and match that tape. Okay. Now, does this make a little more sense? You see what I'm doing here? And this is what we have done. And then these will fold around like this. Now, we'll take a piece of designer paper that is 3 inches this way, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 halves, which is 2 inches. So we'll need 2 inches this way and 3 inches that way. Plus we need a 1/2 inch for the bottom and another 3 inches for the back. So that's 6.5 inches by 2 inches. And so I will grab something that I want to put on the inside that looks cute. Better yet, I'll just use some cardstock. Then I can put my designer paper over it. So we're not wasting our designer paper. This is just regular old cardstock. I think I got it at Walmart. So we said 6.5 by 2, right? Is this 2? Let's make sure it's 2 inches. Yes, 2 inches. 6.5 by 2. Like I said, we're going to cover up the front with some designer paper or an embellishment or something. Okay? All right. And then we said we're going to need 3 inches and a 1/2 inch, like that. And I'm going to fold those up, and this is the fun part. All we're going to do is stick that on the front, around the bottom, and then stick those 2 back pieces to it. Okay? Remember, we put tape on these 2 back wings here. And Boy, this hour's going a lot quicker than I thought it would. All right. I'm going to lay this back side. I'm going to match it up with this fold that I made here. A 1/2 inch in. And stick that down. And then I'm going to roll it over and do the same thing on the other side. Those 2 back wings are going to go up against the back panel here on, whoop, don't tear, don't tear. It doesn't matter if it's a little wonky because it's going to be covered up. Okay, now there's that. Now we're going to put some tape, double-sided tape down on this side, and then we're just going to fold it up, fold it over, and stick it down like that. Okay, so there we go. So here goes my double-sided tape, and I'm going to put a few pieces. If you have wider tape, you can do less. Also, I would recommend the dry adhesive or double-sided tape for this, not glue, because glue is wet and the water will warp your cardstock. Unless you put some sort of gesso or something on it, and that's just too many steps for me. That's too much work. So just do the tape. The tape's the easiest and the quickest. We want to make sure the bottom gets flush up against. I did not tape on the bottom. And then we'll roll this over like this. Just flip it over and tape it on like that. Now we've made this little box. And yeah, the insides are free floating. So if you come up with something that's too big to fit in one hole, you can push this to the side and make it fit. But there we go. Now this is going to be our pen holder that we put inside. But first, I'd like to put something on this to dress it up a little bit. And I've got tons of little scraps left over from when we did the inside. So I am just going to, let's see, probably 3 inches, and then we'll just wrap it around. So we'll make sure it's 4. We need 2 inches for the front, an extra inch for the sides, which makes 3 inches wide. Plus we want to wrap it around the back, at least by a 1/2 inch. So it's 4 inches wide, and we already know it's 3 inches tall. So we need a piece of 3 by 4 for this. This is how I make things all the time. This is how I cook too. I don't like recipes. I mean, I take the idea and then I do it on the fly. And since we want some nice crisp corners, let's go ahead and we said we want a 1/2 inch to fold over the back. We have a 1/2 inch side, so that's a score at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And then we have a 2 inch front, which puts us on the 3 inch mark. And we're going to go at 3 and 3 1/2. So that was 1/2 inch, 1, 3, and 3 1/2. And then we're not going to burnish these. We're just going to 90-degree fold them. And before we madly tape everything together, we will test fit it. And I think that'll work. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my double-sided adhesive. Wow, I did not get as much accomplished this week as I had hoped, but that's all right. That means I got more weeks to work on this, right? We'll at least get it installed to the binder, and we can revisit it next week and put the strap on it next week. because I not only am I hosted on the Live Place, but I watch a lot of videos on the Live Place, and there are some really fantastic videos coming up on the Live Place tonight. Currently, I believe Pete McDevitt has a great person, Donna Jaworski, on his channel. I know that there are a lot of Disney streamers. I know the Live Place just added a whole lot of cruise channels, as in boats, big boats, cruise ships. So I know they're streaming. But yeah, go check out theliveplace.com. It's your TV guide for YouTube. I don't even watch my television anymore unless I'm watching YouTube on my smart TV. Because there's always somebody live streaming, and they're just awesome people and great channels. And I know Dean, not in person, but I know him from online, and he's a great guy, very great guy, and very patient, especially with me. I require a lot of patience. So anyway, yeah. So most of all, we want to make sure, okay, there's my front and my back. I'm gonna fold my sides up first to make sure that I get this front part on here lined up correctly. There we go. Stick it down, fold it over, fold it over, fold it over, and fold it over. And I was a little off with my scoring, but that's okay. I'll put a pen inside here. I'll put and push it down and make sure that it does wrap around. If I was making this to sell, I would be a little more careful, I think, but this is just for me. And so I'm having fun with it. I'm just being creative. Now we're going to install it into a binder. And here's our binder. And remember our expanding folder, which we will definitely do next week. I'm going to go get the heavy cardstock, and we'll definitely do the expanding folder next week. And I'll have it better organized, and I'll have measurements for you and everything, because that's a little bit tougher than making this pen holder and the file folders. There's not an easy way to explain them. But for the expanding folder, I will have measurements and everything for you. Let me get up here and apply my tape. And while I'm doing this, I want to thank you again. If you're watching the replay, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and leave a comment for me. Just simply say Replay Squad. Say hi. Tell me about your week. Tell me about yourself. Tell me projects you'd be interested in seeing me try. Questions. Whatever. Just leave me comments. I like comments. I like interacting with my viewers. I won't try to sell you something, but I do have an Etsy store with some beautiful cards and artwork, and I'll be updating it very, very soon with some other paper goods that I make. Anything you need to know about me, links to my music, my original music, links to my social media, links to everything, www.pearlmanhattan.com. It is down in the description. All right, I think I want this, I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch past, there's where the fold is, see that? Okay, I can see a lot better than you can. I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch so I leave room for my rings. And I'm going to go about 5/8 of an inch from the bottom. I've put my tape on it, Notice I didn't worry about lining it up with the pattern that was already there, because I might not have used this paper. I might have used a different pattern on it, you know. It's just that was the first scrap I grabbed. So there's that. We got 3 minutes. I think I can go ahead and show you how we're going to make the band. Let me go ahead and cut this. I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is 2, 4, 5 inches by 1.5 inches. That's my piece right here, 5 inches by 1.5 inches. Let me throw this out of the way real quick while I finish up my video, because I don't want to go over, because I don't want to take up any more time. I appreciate you giving me time. Time is the only real commodity we have in this world, and that you chose to spend it watching my video means an awful lot to me. So I thank you. I'm very grateful. Very grateful for all of my views, and grateful that I have the ability to come on YouTube once a week with my art projects and share them with the world. It makes me happy to do that. I'm running, what I scored it at was 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and we're going to fold it into thirds. I'm going to leave that one down first. So this is the first score, was at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to fold it over like that. Here comes the second score, was at 1 inch. And if you see, it's just, we're just folding it one over the other, a tri-fold. Okay. So we have this, and then we're going to grab our scoreboard again, because we want to make sure that it looks nice. So we got 5 inches. So we want, yep, that's how I want to do it. So I'm going to score it, and bear with me here, at 1/2 inch, and it's going to be kind of hard to score, and then at 1 inch, and then at 3 inches, and at 3.5 inches. So that's 1/2 inch, and let's flip it over and we'll do that again. 1/2 inch at a 1 inch, at 3 inches, at 3.5 inches. Okay, that gives us the folds to make this into a little rectangle like this, and it goes like this. And this is hard and easy. So I'm going to take and run a piece of double-sided tape on the back, which is the 1.5 inch side, and then I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch of tape hanging over, and I'm going to match these together and make a little rectangle. Okay, I've got a little extra there, but I'm going to show you, see, I've got this little extra tab here, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Now I'll start from the end that it's not hanging over, if that makes sense. I have the extra tape, I'm just going to fold it back over to the back. And then here is the fun part, and then I will end the video. I'll let y'all go. So I stick my pen down in here. Gonna hook my pen on this with the little clip and stick it down in there so I can get a measurement. And then straight up above where I put this thing, where I put the little waffle box kind of thing that we made. Take and push that down with the pen, and we have a little strap that we can hook our pens to so that they don't fall out. See? And there we go. That's our pen case. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here this week. If you're watching the replay, come back next Sunday if you can, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and we will put the notepads and do the file folder next week. Peace and blessings to you, to all you love, and to all who love you. Have a great week, and I'll see you Wednesday. Goodbye.